Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Weather Extra tonight. We're going to start off with almost like a little podcast here. We're going to talk about tomorrow. And I mean, if we can talk about tomorrow, but we're going to talk about yesterday. And we're quiet tonight. There will be some showers and storms coming in. Mostly showers. I think someone left a meme. I thought it was like somebody trying to rickroll me on there with something. Meridianville checking in again tonight. Okay. We all know by now that there was a tornado and mainly just amounted to a gust of wind at 83 miles an hour yesterday. And on Redstone and Arsenal, they're probably going to find tornado damage up in Franklin County, Tennessee tomorrow, they being the Weather Service. And they're probably going to find a real small area of damage, probably with trees and down there north of Valamosa Springs. It's going to be hard to find a track, but I'm sure they're probably going to see some tree damage. And that's probably what that debris signature was yesterday with the second tornado warning. When it went out confirmed, it wasn't visually confirmed. It was confirmed by correlation coefficient is what we call it. And that is the Doppler, the dual pole radar picking it up. And what it does is it picks up any debris. So if you get leaves thrown in the air and they got water on them, and there was so much water out there, we're probably going to have picked up a lot of leaves. That's my guess. We'll see. We haven't had any reports in, and we didn't have any significant reports, but it was a fairly decent debris signature. I will give it that. But the challenge for meteorologists, and I've brought this up several times in the past, it's always these EF0 quick spin-up tornadoes that give us problems. The challenge is it's hard to go out in the general public in your forecast and just say, hey, chance of showers and storms, and oh, we might have a tornado. To me, the science is beyond that. I've always kind of preached to the Weather Service, and I haven't talked to them a while about this, but I have said we have got to find a way to separate the really significant tornado threat versus the spin-up threat. Because scientifically, you know, if you're taking a test, you want to say, yeah, there was a tornado. Well, I got it right. But did you really get it right if you're forecasting tornadoes, you're creating anxiety for people who already have anxiety? We've gone through this whole month with so much storm fatigue. I've even got storm fatigue that is it really worth mentioning we may see a tornado when it amounts to a tornado that's 25 yards wide and maybe 83 mile an hour winds. The majority of that damage on Redstone was due to the fact that those barrels were picked up by the wind and thrown into that building. The wind itself probably didn't do that damage. It was the barrels. They had some 500-pound barrels, at least estimated at 500 pounds, that were blown into that building. So I think that's the big challenge. And it was on the ground for like 200 yards, so 2 football fields. So really, I've seen microbursts do a lot more damage. And the challenge there is we get into severe weather season in the summer months, it's a different ballgame. It's microbursts. And that's the challenge there. So, and you really don't see microbursts until they happen a lot of times. Once you see it forming, it's collapsing from the storm, you got a split second to get the warning out. So again, that's my challenge here is I haven't gone back to look at the actual warning, but I bet it's a boilerplate warning that says the same thing as, say, an EF1 or EF2 tornado warning would have with it as well. So, again, the language probably should change. So that's why I don't like to sit here. And the problem is storms like what we had yesterday, I can't even call it a storm because it didn't even have any lightning in it. It was a rotating rain shower. That's what it was. We had 2 days of that. One day it produced a very minor tornado. And the warning actually came out 25 minutes after the tornado had touched down. That's what a lot of people don't realize. So it creates a lot of panic. People get anxiety. They get anxious because nobody's on the air. I was actually coming back from my dinner break real quick. I saw what was happening. I'm like, this is probably going to trigger a warning. Yes, it feels like it's rained for 4 months straight. So again, we'll get off of that and we will talk about the forecast. You know what? I left my clicker at the desk again. I've done this a few times now. So I'm going to come back, but I'm going to keep talking to y'all. I left my clicker at the desk, and I can't control the computer without it. I'll be right back. We don't really have any storms tonight. We got showers coming in from the south, and they'll be moving in during the early morning hours, probably around I'd say around 4 o'clock in the morning. At least that's the latest look we had. And we're not expecting severe weather. In fact, tomorrow I think the stormier weather is going to be down closer to my buddy David Paul down there in Dothan, Alabama. So they're probably going to deal with that down there. So, all right, we're back. Yeah, someone said, Adam says he's never seen a tornado warning with any bit of lightning. And I've honestly seen that happen before. And, you know, Sand Mountain's usually where we get some of these spin-ups that come through, and that's mainly due to the wind funneling in. But I went back and I did look at some of the upper air sounding data, and I'm looking things over closer. And so in the future, when we get this set up, usually we see it once or twice a year. In the summer months, you can see it. The challenge yesterday, the other challenge is, it's like the clouds were on the ground. They were hanging almost 200 feet above the ground, and you saw all the spin in the atmosphere. So, again, I'm glad yesterday is over with. Here's East Limestone. That is not a UFO there. That is the reflection of the lights into the, we've got a plastic shield around the camera. I've always wondered what's going on with that, but it's reflecting the light back towards it. So again, if you want it to be a UFO, I guess it could be. But today all the shower activity has been over in North Georgia. We did have some heavier rainfall in DeKalb County. And here comes the rain. This is coming in tonight. I think it's going to be really close on whether Huntsville sets the record rainfall. We are 1 inch away from being the wettest, thank you, Debbie, being the wettest May on record. The current champion right now is 1983 with 11.88 inches of rain. I think we're probably going to get a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch for the rest of the month. And I really don't care about setting the record, right? Here's a look as we kind of go back in time here to 7:30. The models were off. All that ended up in Georgia. So I like to look back sometimes on the models, see how they're performing. And notice by 3 o'clock in the morning, might have some elevated thunder showers here. And elevated means they're much higher above the ground as opposed to yesterday, which was on the ground basically. That'll move through around 5 a.m. Some of you may get a 5 o'clock wake up from some thunder and lightning. And then we'll continue on with, here's kind of the change tomorrow. If we continue with this light rain, stratiform rain is what we call it, very light to moderate, the temperatures are going to stay in the 60s. So again, not your layout and suntan kind of weather here, but it's coming. Friday afternoon is going to be pretty good if it continues to show what it showed earlier. And by 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, just a few showers, a few thunderstorms along Lookout Mountain, Sand Mountain, and then we clear out a bit overnight. And here comes our last round of heavy rainfall that we're going to see for a while. Do I think, Adam wants to know if I think I'll see a drought this summer. I don't think so. I think we're in pretty good shape. Overall, this month has acted a lot like April, so I would expect June to probably act a little like May, but hopefully less activity. As we get into the time frame Friday morning, so the morning commute tomorrow looks wet, the Friday morning commute looks wet, and I know you're going to wake up and it's Friday, but hey, look at noon. All right, sunshine, a northwest wind, dry air coming in. Dry air to the rescue. We've got a beautiful Friday afternoon. Friday night's going to be fantastic. If you've got evening plans out there, and Saturday's going to be great. So if you're getting married this weekend, probably not a lot of you on here getting married, but you've probably been sweating this out all month. You're probably maybe planning a wedding next May or something like that. I might wait till June. The last 2 Mays have overperformed for sure. So here's that weekend forecast. 82 Saturday, morning low of 55. So great camping weather. One thing we're watching for Sunday, the model's kind of back and forth. The European model is the only model I trust right now. The GFS model is completely out to lunch. I don't know what's happened to it, but it's horrible. It's got a hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico, I think, in 10 days. I'm not buying that either. Yeah, porch sitting weather. April likes that. So, again, Sunday, we may see a 2-hour round of thunderstorms. We'll wait and see on that. We'll continue to fine-tune that. But when we come back from the commercial break, we're going to talk about your 10-day forecast and what you can expect for the first week of June. I'm ready for that. All right, hang on. We got 10 more seconds. We are back with the 48 Weather Extra coming up tonight at 10. More of what I'm talking about here. A nice weekend ahead. Here's your planner for tomorrow. There's nothing to worry about tonight. These are going to be maybe some rumbles of thunder going to the East Coast. Yeah, I haven't really focused on anybody else's weather. Maybe Florida, because I'm headed down to Florida, flying down to Tampa Friday. Going to move my son Ross back to Nashville. He got a new job in Nashville, so I'll be on the road with a U-Haul truck. I can't wait to drive that. Hope the air conditioner's working because it's miserably hot down in Florida right now. So again, I'll be doing that this weekend and early next week. Looking forward to spending some time up in Nashville, though, some weekend trips. Got him a 2-bedroom apartment, so we got a place to stay. I think we'll be all right. Here's your daily planner for tomorrow. We've got rain probably through noon, and then a few breaks, and then we're going to have more rain tomorrow night into Friday morning, and then Friday afternoon. Right at noon, the wind shifts to the northwest, and it's going to be an awesome Friday afternoon, especially after all the rain we've had to deal with. It's rained, I think, 19 days. I take that back. It didn't quite rain today, but 18 days so far this month. Rain chances come back Sunday. It's real questionable. I wouldn't cancel any plans right now, but your 10-day forecast really looks good. We're talking 76 Thursday, Friday 74. It's kind of going to feel like fall Friday night. I will say that because the air is going to be dry. It's going to be great. Angela says Kayla's 18th birthday is Saturday. Yeah, it's going to be great. And happy birthday, the big 18. Kaylee should enjoy that. And then we got the big 60th birthday coming up the following weekend, I believe, Angela. Hopefully the weather's just as nice for that. 76 Thursday, 74 Friday, 82 Saturday. Again, it's going to feel like autumn Saturday morning, Friday night, Saturday morning. Even Saturday evening is going to be great. Maybe if you got a patio fire, things like that going, invite the friends over. Out in the hood, so to speak, looking good for that. But Sunday, again, we're going to have to watch that. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, there's our summertime pool weather, our lake weather. It is going to be fantastic. It's going to get muggy Wednesday with a low of 71. And we could see some stronger thunderstorms Thursday. We'll watch that. But again, I think it's more of a summertime strong type thunderstorm. Appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. I got to go do the radio. And Margot and I and Carl Prather's going to have your sports. Man, I feel like I haven't seen Carl forever. I'm waiting for him to chime in out there because he hears every word I say back here. I'm way back here in the weather closet. Well, you guys take care, and I will see you again tomorrow night at 9:30.